No gunfire, no warning. Just a thunderous blast, ripping through the night along the Lebanese border. 3 senior Mossad intelligence officers, once phantoms in the shadow world of espionage, were now nothing but scattered remains. They didn't die in a massive operation. They didn't fall amid gunfire and battle cries. They were ambushed by a cluster bomb with near-perfect precision. A weapon condemned by the world for being too widespread, too brutal, too inhumane. But this time, it wasn't just about elimination. It carried a chilling message. If you come to spy, we'll send you back in pieces. No warning. No second chances. According to initial reports from the Israeli military, the early morning attack on June 28th targeted not only residential areas, but also a top-secret location near the Lebanese border, where 3 senior Mossad officers were carrying out a special operation. They didn't exist on any public surveillance system. Their location wasn't on official maps, transmitted no signal, and was completely invisible to radar. It was a mobile observation post, hidden deep in the forest near Marjayoun, a region known as the crossroads between Iran, Hezbollah, and Israel, where intelligence front lines overlap, meter by meter. So how did Iran know? That question immediately sparked deeper fears within Tel Aviv's inner circle. Had the intelligence network been compromised? Had Iran or Hezbollah pierced the security shield of Mossad? Because when the strike hit, it didn't just destroy tactical vehicles and the entire mobile surveillance station. It wiped out all life inside. No one made it out. An anonymous source from Israel's Ministry of Defense spoke out during the emergency meeting. We didn't lose 3 officers. We lost a strategic link. This wasn't just a personnel loss. It was a direct blow to the credibility and capability of Mossad, an agency long proud of being Israel's longest arm in the shadow war. 3 veteran Mossad officers, men who once operated in the shadows, now returned in silence, no longer whole. Not because of sacred ceremony, not for special honors, but because there wasn't enough of their bodies left to place in a single coffin. The funeral was held under absolute secrecy. No national flag draped the bodies. No eulogies were spoken. No honor guard fired 3 final shots. There was only silence. A cold, calculated silence. The kind only Mossad would understand. No mourning. No loud sorrow. Because in Mossad, emotion is buried deep. Only action is allowed to make noise. A few days later, the identities of the 3 officers were confirmed. Colonel Elanavan, believed to have overseen Iran's surveillance network in Syria. Major David Baruch, who once led a deep infiltration unit inside Yemen. Lieutenant Colonel Yair Menes, one of the strategic architects behind Mossad's operations against Hezbollah. All 3 were considered living legends within Israel's intelligence community. They never appeared on television. No one knew their faces. But the operations they shaped once altered the political balance of the Middle East. Now they're not just fallen, they've become symbols of a painful defeat. What shocked the global intelligence community wasn't just the names that were wiped out, but how they were wiped out. Cluster bombs, weapons designed to scatter hundreds of deadly fragments over a wide area, are typically used against tanks or large infantry formations. But this time, it was used to eliminate a small espionage unit with surgical precision. Not the right weapon, but a symbolic one. The message was clear. We don't just know where you are. We know exactly what to use to make you disappear completely. So far, Iran has made no official statement taking responsibility, but media outlets aligned with the Revolutionary Guard called it a justified response to intelligence activities that violated sovereignty. Mossad has long been known for covert operations in Syria, Iraq, even inside Iran itself. But never before has there been clear evidence. Never before has Mossad been struck back so openly and so directly. This incident shattered the fragile balance in the covert intelligence war between Iran and Israel. Even Israeli media acknowledged this is Mossad's greatest failure in the past decade. Inside Mossad, shockwaves were felt. An internal investigation was immediately launched. Senior officials are now hunting for answers. Was there a leak from within? Or has Iran developed counterintelligence capabilities beyond expectation? Israel's National Security Council convened an emergency meeting. According to leaked sources, Mossad is compiling a retaliation target list ranging from senior Quds force commanders to scientists and military strategists in Tehran. The Israeli military spokesperson delivered a cold, measured statement. "We will respond at the time and in the manner of our choosing." No one doubts that, because when Mossad is silent, that's when they're already in motion. In Washington, the United States quickly called for restraint, a familiar reflex in diplomatic language. But this wasn't just advice. It was a growing fear that the red zone of the Middle East was about to ignite into an uncontrollable firestorm. On the other side, Russia and China made no effort to hide their sarcasm. State media in both countries hinted, when Israel chooses the path of aggression, retaliation is only a matter of time. In other words, you reap what you sow. The United Nations, as always, played a role so neutral. It was almost invisible. A statement with no blame, no criticism, no proposals. As if every word risked lighting another political fuse. But perhaps the most telling reaction came from the Arab bloc. No congratulations, no official statements of support. Only silence, but a silence that felt ... satisfied. A journalist in Amman put it simply, "In the shadows, Mossad once spread fear, now they're tasting it themselves. In a way that can't be mistaken." With 3 names erased in a single strike, Mossad, once praised as the invisible ghost of the Middle East, now faces the most haunting question in its history. Do they still have what it takes to maintain the upper hand in a shadow war that grows more brutal by the day? No public funeral, no monument, no speech from the Prime Minister, only a list quietly being updated by cold hands in the shadows.